I am in rural Kansas in a little town called Greeley. There's about 280 people here, roughly. Peak population was in 1930. There were a little over 500 people. So the town is fading away slowly, I guess you could say. Median age here is 40. 54% male, 46% female. This is downtown up ahead here. I drove through it once already, pretty early, 9 a.m. So I kind of expected the downtown to be devoid of cars, but no. There's a bunch of vehicles parked here, and looks like there's a cafe right here in downtown. And the whole town is turned out to have breakfast. This seems like the kind of town where that would happen. Yeah, see all these cars? I mean, there's only 280 people here, so that's a lot of the cars of the town, right here in downtown. But this cafe seems to be where they all are. Chris Cafe. Bet you a ton of people are in there having breakfast. Pretty nice, huh? You'd like to see that. There's the post office. Greeley, Kansas. And there's the Bank of Greeley. They got just about everything here, don't they? And some of the downtown, though, is pretty bad shape. Well, that's the end of that as far as downtown's concerned. Give you a few more numbers. Here's the ethnic breakdown. Pretty interesting. 95% white, 4% Native American, last 1% mixed race. All right, let's see what else I can find. Well, I'm out in a neighborhood street right now. I'm gonna make my way back into downtown. Just thought I'd give you a look at the residential area. It's kind of pretty, isn't it? A lot of old houses here. And a lot of American flags on the porches I'm seeing all over town. This is downtown straight ahead. We'll head that way. Take a pass through the side street through downtown. What a quiet little place. Well, let's see. Median household income here is $43,750 a year. That's $841 a week. So that's everyone in a household 15 years old or older, their incomes combined. So that's pretty low. But the cost of living is low here too. Here's the index. 78. Well below the US of 100. Utilities are the only thing higher. You see that 9% higher. Housing is 58% lower. So yes, looks like it's going to be pretty cheap as far as buying a house is concerned. And you see a few abandoned ones here and there, like this one. Anyway, median home value here, $77,500. So yeah, these are the cheapest houses we've seen on this long trip. A little house there. Interesting. Yeah, I looked at the calendar. This is our last stop, and then we're heading back to Dallas after this. But we've been on the road since March 8th. That's 11 weeks. Woo! This has been a long trip. We will be ready for a bit of a break in Dallas. Well, let's check out some Kansas towns first, shall we? Very rural Kansas towns. Let's see, I didn't give you poverty level yet. It's not too bad. Overall, 15.7%. School-age children, it's 11%. But check out retirement age, folks. 0. 0 poverty. Well, how about if I give you some crime numbers real quick? I was a bit surprised by them. It's kind of high here. Last year, 3.5 incidents per 100 people. That compares to 2.3 for the U.S. So crime is higher here than the rest of the country as a whole. I did the math on that. They had somewhere between 9 and 10 crimes last year in the entire town. Yeah, 3.5 per 100, a little less than 300 people here. Yeah, that comes out to about 10, right? Is my math right? This looks, well, I don't know. There might be somebody living there. It is very quiet town, though. Well, this gas station's right here on the edge of downtown. I don't even know if they have any goods in there. I've been looking for a grocery store. Haven't been able to find anything, not even a Dollar General. I'm not sure what they do for groceries here. They do have a volunteer fire department, though. Yeah, so there it is. Well, I'm out here on the edge of town. This looks like the closest thing they have to a store. Oh, but it's a liquor store. Oh, there we go. Little store entrance. Restrooms for customers only. Okay. Appears that whatever kind of store it is, it's not open yet. Can't really find anything else here to see, guys, so we'll keep it moving. Let's head to the next town. I am in the town of Blue Mound, Kansas. Population here is 219. Peak population was in the year 1900. There were about 740 people here. Back then, that was a pretty good sized town. But it's been losing population steadily ever since. And some of the other numbers tell the story of what's going on here. The median age is 54. So that suggests to us that the younger people who grow up here in town basically are graduating high school and leaving. Because 54 is pretty old for a median age. For the US, it's 39. Yeah, it's most likely going to be in ghost town status 20 years maybe. Unless they can figure out a way to get some younger people to come here and have kids. See, downtown's here to the right, but I don't know if that's going to happen. I think the younger folk are just going to continue to leave, and there'll basically be nobody here eventually. A lot of decay. Empty downtown. 60% of the town is male, 40% female. The ethnic breakdown is pretty interesting. 94% white, 6% Native American. That's it. Like the last town, they got lots of flags flying. Mural on the wall here. Median household income here is $48,750 a year. It's $938 a week. That's actually not too bad, considering cost of living here it's really low. 75. That's quite a bit lower than the U.S. At 100. Again, utilities 5% higher. Housing 62% lower. So what does that tell us? Houses are going to be pretty cheap. So here's the median home value, $56,900. Yeah, that is really low. So we'll have to check out some of the houses here. So let's take a look at poverty. 25.2%. Kids 17 and under, 21%. That's getting up there. Folks 65 and older, it is 15%. Interesting mural on this building. Here in the very quiet downtown. It is really quiet here. Yeah, there's just a lot of decay. And absolutely nothing happening on a Saturday morning. Let's see, let me give you crime numbers. Again, they're pretty high. I'm surprised. Last year, 3.8 incidents per 100 people. Woo, big potholes too. So how many crimes total is that? You got about 200 people here, 3.8 per 100. What's about 8 crimes? Had a total of 8 crimes last year in this town of 200 people, a little over. Yeah, that seems a little steep. Now, there's a few houses here in town that you could tell were really grand in their day. Here's one. This one's probably 100 years old or older. That was a magnificent house at one time. It says it's the Brook Mansion, 1886, yeah. Built in the late 1800s, so close to peak population when the town was really hopping, I would guess. But it is not in great condition, let's put it that way. There is no grocery store of any kind here, or convenience store. I mean, there's nowhere to even get gas. I don't know what the people do here for those things. Apparently they drive somewhere. Yeah, not even a Dollar General in this town. Just a lot of empty houses. They look like they've been abandoned for quite a while. Well, let's see. I think that's going to be it here. There's only a handful of streets in the entire town with only 200 people, so just want to get a quick look at it. At a slowly dying Kansas town. All right, well, on to the next town. I am in the town of Mound City. Mound City, Kansas. Okay, here's the map. Let's see, I cut a left here. I'll go into downtown, so let's do that. Peak population in this town was in 1890. There were 888 people here. As recently as 2000, there are 821 people. But today there are about 650. So it's dropping off in population a little bit. Median age 35. Gender breakdown 50-50. Nothing unusual there. So here's the ethnic breakdown. 94% white, 1% black, 1% Native American. Now, let me give you a shot of these buildings. 3% Hispanic. Last 1% mixed race. Well, they got some buildings here, don't they? Yeah, they got all kinds of stuff going on down here. Few shops. It's good to see. Antique shop there. Median household income here is $48,750 a year. $937 a week. So that's a little bit of money. Cost of living is real low. Here's the index. It is an 80. Again, utilities higher, 5% higher. Housing, 45% lower. With a population of 600 and almost 650, you get a few more things, I guess. There's a Dollar General. And they have a grocery store. Food Fair Supermarket. I mean, it's small, but it looks like a full grocery store. Yeah, this town, even though it's losing a little bit of population, it feels a lot healthier than the last two. Mound City is the county seat for Lynn County. That is the Lynn County Courthouse, built in 1885. That is Renaissance architecture. 15th century Italy. That's where the design cues come from. Developed in the late 1800s, it was a counter towards Romanesque and Gothic architecture that you saw a lot at the time. The designs are a lot less flamboyant, more conservative, if you know what I mean. Usually just rectangular or square buildings. Not a lot of turrets and all kinds of angles and crazy shaped windows like you see in Romanesque and Gothic. You see the windows are squared off at the top, except for that one in the middle. Again, the idea is just more conservative, if you will. And to be honest with you, I think it's because it was cheaper to build them. Yeah, it's a lot cheaper style of building to build than Gothic, you know what I mean? It's still a pretty building though. Let's see, I didn't give you median home value here yet, did I? It's $127,700. median home value. It's quite a bit higher than the last two towns, isn't it? Some unquestionably more interesting looking homes here. So, what's poverty? Well, not too bad. 14.2% overall. That's a little less than the U.S. School-age children, 17%. Folks 65 and older, 13%. So those are all very close to the U.S. numbers. Let's see, the crime rate in this town, again, it's kind of high. Last year, 3.1 incidents per 100 people. Compares to 2.3 for the U.S. Yeah, a little bit higher. Let's see, how's the math add up? 3 per 100, there's a little over 600 people here, so what's that, 18? About 20 crimes last year, total. In this town of, well, 647 actually. So I found this house for sale here. It is on Spruce Street, 330 Spruce Street. You can tell it's an older home. I think all of us would be curious as to what they want for that. So we'll have somebody look that up. 330 Spruce Street. Wow. I mean, that's probably over 100 years old. Yeah, this house looks really old too. Not in as good a shape. But I love the house's design. That's got a tremendous amount of potential. It says, "Hey y'all" on the side there. They got a lot of stuff. Lots and lots of stuff there. Looks like a detached garage. It is a pretty interesting town as far as the architecture of the homes, though, isn't it? I like a lot of this quite a bit. They're just a lot of really old houses. I mean, you can just tell these are really old. Hopefully you can see that. Yeah, not sure if anybody lives in that. And a mobile home? That may be sitting empty as well. Now, this is an impressive looking building, isn't it? Especially for a town of 640 something people. Lynn County Justice Center. Lynn County, Kansas. And here is the Lynn County Fire Department. Looks small right off the bat, but then there's some more back here. Well, interesting little town. But I think I've seen everything here, so let's head to one more town. All right, guys, I'm in Pleasanton, Kansas. Here's a quick map. Pretty close to the Missouri border. Downtown's over in the distance there. We'll head there in a second. I saw an abandoned rail line here. Just wanted to take a look at it. Looks like not much has happened here in a while, does it? interesting stuff over here. Oh, in these roads. Woo! Pleasanton in the year 2000 had almost 1,400 people. Today there are 1,200. So it's lost a little population. That's pretty cool looking, isn't it? Hasn't been in use for quite some time though, has it? I just love old buildings like this. The rust, the overgrowth, I don't know. It's just beautiful to me for some reason. Buildings like this that have been abandoned for a long time. Wow. Well, let's head into downtown. See what that looks like. Median age here is 38. Gender breakdown, 57 female, 43 male. So they got a few extra ladies here in town for the guys. Ethnic breakdown of the town is 95% white, 1% black, 1% Pacific Islander, 1% Hispanic, 2% mixed other. Let's see, median household income, $53,958 a year. That's getting up there a little bit. That's $1,038 a week. Meanwhile, the cost of living is really low. Here's the index. 79. Again, utilities are higher. But housing much lower, 48% lower. So I'll make a right here, and we should drive right into downtown. Ooh, looks pretty empty, doesn't it? Very quiet on a Saturday afternoon, early afternoon. Poverty is pretty low here, 11.3% overall. School-aged children, 7%. High for older folks though, 25% for 65 and older. So what's the crime rate in this town? You might be asking. This town bucks the trend of the other three. It's very low. Last year, 3 incidents per 1,000 people. That compares to 23 for the U.S. They had 4 crimes total in this town last year. 4. 3 assaults and 1 theft. So you cannot be upset about that if you live here. Median home value, $93,600. There's a church, Pleasanton Methodist Church. Well, they do have a grocery store here, another food fair, supermarket. So I guess that must be a little chain they have going on here in this part of the state. Now let's go check out some residential. This Cookies Drive-In looks pretty awesome, except they have Christmas decorations still up. Or maybe they're just getting a head start for next year. What do you guys think? The streets are quite pretty, or at least what I've seen so far. And some pretty nice houses here. That house there is huge. Wow. And it's beautiful. Across the street, it's not so bad either. Alright everyone, that's the end of this video. Next we will be heading to Dallas for a short break. Then on to Hawaii. We're going to visit Honolulu and the capital there. I'm going to try to see some small Hawaiian towns too, like I do in the other states. Then we will be heading east. We will be doing short stops, let me try to remember, in Arkansas, Illinois, Indiana, then to Columbus, Ohio. We will visit the capital there. Then to Annapolis, Maryland, visit that capital. Then DC, because we need to visit the nation's capital. And then on up to Albany, New York State capital, Hartford, Connecticut, that capital. Then we're going to drop down into Delaware, visit Dover, that state's capital. Then that will be 49 of the capital cities visited. Only Alaska left. We will go there in August. So that's what's on tap for the next couple months, 2-3 months. So yeah, hope you guys come along, and we will see you there.